Hey, what's up guys? Alex here with a new video, and today I want to talk about film. Specifically, how does it hold up against modern day digital? So, if you're like me, you've always had some type of interest in film, just never really gotten into it. For me, the biggest problem is I've always liked the look of vintage cameras and the idea of having a vintage camera. But the reality is, I've gotten so used to modern day cameras, modern day autofocusing, that when I go to a vintage, older Canon AE1 or Leica M6, I don't enjoy them. It slows me down way too much, and then I miss focus a lot. And the thing is, with digital, if you miss focus, it's whatever, right? With film, every frame is costing you X amount of money, right? And we'll cover that in a little bit. So every time I miss a photo, I just get upset, right? That's like $1 I threw away. And it's a moment I missed because you don't know if you missed focus until a day, a week, even hell, months afterwards, right? When you get your film developed. But what I wanted to do is actually check out film with a modern day camera. So I picked up a Canon EOS 3 film camera. So I believe this camera came out in 1994. I could be wrong, it could be later. And this was one of the cameras from Canon that actually had eye tracking for focusing points, or I'm not sure what it's called, but pretty much it tracks your pupil, so you can select the focusing point by just looking at the focusing point. It doesn't really work, at least for me it doesn't. Very gimmicky, but overall this is a very modern camera. So just like your regular DSLRs today, it has autofocusing. As a matter of fact, it has several autofocusing points, right? It doesn't have just 4 or 3. It's got them clumped up all in the middle like a modern day DSLR. And it's got all the functions you would expect from a modern day DSLR, except it's using film. I picked this camera up because I figured in order for me to really enjoy film, I need to get my photos in focus, and what better way to do it than with a camera like this. I also picked up a Canon 40mm f2.8 for this camera. Now this is a cheap lens, so I think I picked it up for 80 bucks used, just to see if I like the experience before I kind of commit to buying more lenses. And what I did was, I decided to go out with a wife and shoot the exact same lens with the Canon EOS 3 using Kodak Portra 400 and putting the exact same lens on the Canon EOS R and taking a digital shot so I can compare film versus digital. And then I also used this camera in a photo shoot I did with a couple, kind of like a stylized wedding shoot. If you see my previous YouTube video, I cover it there. I took some frames with this camera, so I won't be comparing it to the other frames I got because I shot this with a 40 and the entire session with the EOS R was shot with a 50, so probably not a fair comparison. But overall, yeah, let's go ahead and let me put the images up and then we can talk about them afterwards. So what did you think? You can definitely tell which one's film and which one's digital. So I tried to get the files to match as close as possible. I used Mastin Labs to try to match the digital with the film files. Obviously it didn't work. Either I did something wrong or I just couldn't figure it out, right? I know some people have done it with just great accuracy. If you use Mastin Labs, let me know in the comments below. But overall, like, definitely enjoyed the film files. They looked great, and keep in mind I did do a low resolution scans because it does get expensive. So I think if you were to do high resolution scans, you can definitely get away with using film in 2020 if you want to spend the money, because it does get expensive, right? So the Kodak Portra 400 that I used cost me 14 bucks, I believe. Developing and scanning cost me 17 bucks. So overall, when you look at 36 exposures and you add up the math, I think it's like 82 or 84 cents per photo. So it can add up if you're shooting multiple rolls of film, right? Developing at home is also an option, but developing color film is not easy from what I saw. But regardless, the experience with the EOS 3 really made me appreciate and enjoy film, right? Because I knew that with its focusing system, and again with the familiarity of the controls and dials, I was gonna be either in focus or somewhat close to being in focus, right? Previously with other film cameras like a Leica M6 or a Canon AE1, it was, I'm not sure, I probably have bad eyes, right? Or we'll blame it on the camera. I'm not sure if the camera was still kind of focusing accurately or whatever. I misfocused a lot, and it really made me not enjoy film, right? Because I'd get the rolls back and I'd be like, man, I missed that memory, right? And it's all blurry. But with this camera, it gave me confidence to know that I was gonna be sharp or be somewhat sharp. And yeah, overall, is film relevant in 2020? I think so, right? As far as incorporating it into my work, I actually want to do that, right? One of my thoughts is incorporating black and white film with my weddings. So not necessarily using color because of the fact that I don't want it to look kind of completely different from the type of work I'm delivering, and I don't want to change my color style to match film. But I think adding black and white film and that kind of unique character and grit of the grain to a wedding gallery would be pretty cool. So for me, I actually plan on buying a different EF lens for wedding work, and I plan on using Kodak Tri-X on some of my weddings. So overall, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Do you use film? What's your favorite film stock, right? What's your favorite film camera? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Peace.